Friends, welcome to Leadosophy, another episode. This is the space that is creative and open, and where an open mind is the rule, not the exception. Cheers with a cup of coffee today. Florida Keys 100. I didn't run the Florida Keys 100. Did the 50-mile race with my wife in 2017. Great experience. Really hot. Anyways, what do we want to talk about today? Today's episode is going to briefly touch upon this idea of opinions. Kind of goes with the last episode of assumptions. Maybe just like a little add-on. It's going to be a really brief episode. I got a little brief opening monologue. Some few questions and ideas to throw out to anyone who's watching. And then we're going to go from there. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to hot drop that mic and abandon this episode after that is finished. So hopefully we come away, kind of our mission today is just looking at opinions a little differently, the value of our opinions or worthlessness of our opinions. And also, if we do have opinions, how can we find some sort of meaning with those opinions or of those opinions with others and the opinions of others? How do we find some collective understanding, maybe a deeper meaning? So hope you enjoyed this episode. Here we go.
Are you ready to permanently fuse leadership and philosophy? Then a word of caution. You are about to enter the fully abstract yet wholly concrete realm of Leadosophy. Our ideas are not always so clear and distinct. To validate this proposition, we welcome the host of Leadosophy, Tim Wood.
Welcome back. So, I saw a Facebook post the other day, and anyone who's on social media can verify that the story, quick little story I'm about to tell, they've all seen. Maybe even been a part of it. I've been a part of some of these conversations, or I guess they're kind of quasi conversations. I bring up social media because it's an easy target. I call it a soft target. You go on social media and you look at random posts, random opinions put out, and it's usually just pushing one direction. And if there's any pushback on that post, and this is Twitter, Facebook, doesn't matter. If there's any pushback or a different idea, the originator of the idea or of the opinion quickly goes into this defensive, retreats into this defensive mode. And then there's usually this just back and forth. I call it just a collateral damage of potential knowledge. There's so much potential knowledge out there that's just lost or exploded because people are trying to win an unwinnable argument. And think about this as I kind of go through these notes that I wrote down. Just think about what I'm talking about, how it may apply in your day-to-day life, maybe in the workplace or even at home. I am guilty of having conversations with my wife where I am closed-minded and I go into a potential situation where I could potentially learn something from my spouse, and I end up closing my mind to her ideas and her thoughts and her opinions, and I hold dearly, or I lock onto my own, and I can't see anything else. So tell me what you think about this. Again, I saw this post the other day. It was a Trump supporter and a Biden supporter. And already, if you live in the United States, you can just see how volatile this is going to be. And you can probably forecast that nothing was achieved. You are correct. They argued ad nauseum about their respective views on COVID, the economy, and even the United States' presence in the Middle East, our troop presence, so on and so forth. This conversation, like I said, if we can even label it a conversation, devolved into name calling, as you can expect, and a retreat towards tribalistic thought patterns. We retreat to our tribes that we know, that we think alike with. Another common term might be groupthink. You've heard of this before. They accomplished nothing. Both had agendas. Their agendas were predetermined, number one, and number two, they were self-serving. As David Bohm, the late physicist and philosopher, once said, and I'm paraphrasing here, When two sides come together with an agenda, no one will learn a thing. So this example begs the question, what are we learning from one another? More importantly, when we are engaged in conversations, no matter how superficial they may be, are we going into these conversations with an open mind and trying to learn from someone else? Or again, do we have an agenda? We have the power of instant communication at our fingertips, social media being one of those instances. And we have instant access to collective thought on a global scale, yet it seems as though we're drifting further apart. I wonder if I'm alone in these thoughts. You proclaim that you own the truth. I do the same. A deadlock will always ensue. It's inevitable. Another learning opportunity is lost, possibly forever. If time is finite, at least in our own interpretation of time, then our self-serving opinions might be more worthless than we realize. I don't claim these words are an exception. I don't claim what I'm saying here is an exception to what I'm talking about. I'm just merely throwing this out for feedback, for other ideas. I do this to hopefully move towards a deeper understanding of opinions and their value or their worthlessness. So, what of our opinions? Are they worth anything? Are they justified? Are they backed up? Are they verified? Are they critically examined? Or are our opinions more arbitrary than we care to admit? I talk about this a lot with Leadosophy. I talk about the theater of perception. We can't escape our minds. We can't escape our experiences. And there's two sides to that I want to end with. The theater of perception can be a very lonely place. It's a place where we can only examine our own thoughts and see the world through that projection screen. It can make it difficult sometimes to open our minds and try to look or try to see what's behind the curtain and within other people's theaters of perception. But on the flip side, we do each bring a unique experience to the world. And we share those experiences on social media. We take those experiences, whether they be followership experiences or leadership experiences, we take those into the workplace, and they are unique. They are as unique as the next person's. So if we go into these experiences with others, and we are so wrapped around our own experiences that we don't try to learn from the other or the experience of the other, what is the point? How will we ever collectively advance knowledge? Not so much the truth, because the truth is always maybe more difficult to achieve than we realize. The truth probably involves the whole, and we never fully have the whole perspective or the whole side. We only have the perspective of our own. So again, if we are going to explore this meaning of co-truth, co-reality, we have to make a pact to do that with others, alongside others. We have to be willing to learn from others and examine our own opinions and our assumptions and hold those in front of us and allow those to reflect back where we can examine them a little more critically before we claim they are the right opinions. So I think I'll stop there today. Again, this was, for me, just an addendum to the last episode on assumptions. I encourage you to go back and check out that episode 6, I believe. And let me know what you think. If you think I'm off base, tell me. If you like what I'm talking about, share it. And if you don't want to share it, that's just perfectly fine as well. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks for watching this episode of Leadosophy. Remember, Leadosophy is about using the tools of philosophical thought to gain a deeper understanding of leadership. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching and listening to another episode of Leadosophy. If you liked what you heard today, hit that subscribe button and check out Leadosophy.com and learn more about Tim's ideas on philosophy and leadership. We'll see you next time.